You're muted.
All right, there. Can you hear
There
us?
you go. Yes.
All right, now we're. Mr. Boren, can you hear me?
I can.
Right. Court will now call case number 4908, the state of Texas versus Nicholas J. Simpson. Is the state ready to proceed?
State's ready, Your Honor.
Is defense ready?
It is ready. We'll waive reading of the indictment.
Right, thank you. Sir, are you Nicholas J. Simpson? Mr. Simpson, you have been charged in count 1 with indecency with a child by sexual contact. That is a second-degree felony that's punishable by imprisonment in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice for a term not to exceed 20 years or less than 2 years. In addition, the court can assess a fine not to exceed $10,000. In count 2, you are charged with indecency with a child by sexual contact. That is also a second-degree felony, and it has the same range of punishment. Sir, your attorney has waived the reading of the indictment in this case. I need to ask you, are you a U.S. citizen? In that case, Mr. Simpson, how do you plead to these charges in count 1 and count 2?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty, sir, because you are guilty and for no other reason?
Yes, ma'am.
Has anyone threatened you or coerced you or promised you anything to get you to make this plea?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Simpson, I have in front of me a document called a felony plea of guilty, waiver, stipulation, and judicial concession. In this document, you plead guilty, you waive certain rights, and you stipulate that all of the state's evidence against you is true and correct. Is this your signature on this document?
Yes, ma'am.
By signing this document, are you telling the court that you fully understand everything contained in this document?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you believe you're fully aware of the consequences of pleading guilty here today?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Boren, have you consulted with your client and advised him of his rights?
Yes, ma'am, at length.
Do you believe that he is mentally competent?
Yes.
Do you approve of him signing these stipulations before the court today?
Yes.
Mr. Simpson, I will approve these stipulations and I will enter them into the court's record as State's Exhibit Number 1. Ms. Anchondo, is there a plea agreement in this case?
There is, Your Honor. In both counts, the state has agreed to recommend to the court that the court assess punishment of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice Institutional Division for a period of 6 years. No fine be assessed in either case. No restitution. Any court cost or reimbursement fees as reflected in the judgment. The defendant is entitled to 1 day time credit previously served. And these are to run concurrent with each other.
Mr. Simpson, you just heard the district attorney announce a plea agreement. Is that the plea agreement that you reached with her?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you agree, Mr. Boren?
Yes, I do have one question for the court. He was on a monitor, restricted his freedom for quite some time while this was pending, and asking the court to grant him that time credit in his sentence.
Judge, we're objecting to that. He was out on bond. He was able to work and do his confinement in his home. So, no, we're objecting to that.
Yeah, Mr. Boren, that is not the court's practice, so I'll deny that request.
Okay.
But he will have to, I apologize for interrupting. He will have to be admonished that he has to register as a sex offender for the rest of his life.
Yeah, I've admonished him as well, but yes, that's true.
Mr. Simpson, I will follow the recommendation of the district attorney's office, and I will sentence you in count 1 to 6 years confinement in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice Institutional Division. I will not order a fine. In count 2, I will also sentence you to 6 years confinement in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice Institutional Division. Again, I will not order a fine. I will note that these run concurrently and that you're entitled to 1 day jail time credit. I will also admonish you that you are now required to register as a sex offender for the rest of your natural life. And at this time, I will order you remanded to the custody of the Dallam County Sheriff's Office to begin serving your sentence.
Matt, say goodbye to my family.
Just a minute. Do you have any questions about this sentence? Is there anything further from the state?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Anything further from the defense?
No, just what Nick had said, if he could just have a moment to greet his family.
Yes, I don't have a problem with that, Mr. Simpson. Have you been satisfied with your representation by Mr. Boren?
Yes, ma'am.
Has he done everything that you asked him to do?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir, I'm going to need to get your fingerprint on these judgments. And, okay, let's get your fingerprints and then you can say goodbye.
Thank you, Judge. We're off the record.
Thank you, Mr. Yeah, we're off the record.
Thanks, Dennis.
All right. Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you.
Take care.